HLN tomorrow afternoon, 4 Eastern.
Ejaculated on your face and threw you some candy?
Pretty much.
Is this hard for you to describe?
Yeah, in front of my mom and dad it is.
I'm with the jury right now. You already met the defense team, and in fact, the defense has some questions for Dr. Drew. Ashley?
Dr. Drew, do you think it's reasonable that a person loves an event so much that it caused them to have to take depressant medicine, anti-anxiety medicine, and be treated for stress-induced migraines? Do you think that someone could love an event so much it was causing them much trouble?
I think that borderline patients are typically on anxiety and depressant medication regardless of the circumstance they are in, and the migraine deflection might merely be a way of attracting more attention.
All right, jurors, you have questions. Defense has answers.
Yes, could it be she thinks that the more the jury gets to know her, the least likely they are to put her to death, and that's her strategy?
Thank you.
That is a fantastic strategy, and here's why. She's up for first-degree murder. The more she talks, the more she says what she likes or what she's done in her life, the more someone in that jury box will look at her and go, I did that too. I can relate to that. So yes, that is a great question, and that's a great strategy.
Juror 3 has a question. Juror 3?
The question is, as opposed to her loving being on trial, do you think that she's just putting on a front for her family and friends?
I think it has to be extremely embarrassing for her. I mean, her sexual life, her abusive relationship, this very embarrassing relationship, whether or not it was abusive or not, this is all on trial. And there's no way that someone wants the world to see that side of them. No one wants to see you weak. No one wants to see you abused. I don't think that there's any way that she loves that.
Juror 11.
Hi. You say that she does not like this limelight. However, could it be possible that she's an egomaniac with an inferiority complex that doesn't like circumstances, but she loves that it's about herself?
She very well may like the attention, and that's something that I think we all agree. She's a narcissist. She's got some psychological disorders. But again, the bold accusation here is that she is in love with trial and the process of justice in this trial process. And there's no way of God's son that she's in love with the trial process. She's got plenty of issues, but not that.
Juror 6?
Yeah, my question is, if she loved being on trial, don't you feel like she could have probably sped up the process a little bit when she was on the stand? It just seemed like she just found ways to stretch it out by going roundabout answers.
You know what? That is a great question, and I know a lot of people are thinking that, but she doesn't have total control of that courtroom. She has attorneys. Her attorney was questioning her. She doesn't get the questions. Now, you might not have liked her answers, but she had to give her answers. And remember, does she love being on trial? Love it. She had the attention, just like Ron said, but you can't possibly love all this harsh negativity.
All right. And Juror 4, you had a question? Got another question?
Well, I'm just wondering, if she doesn't really love this attention, then why is she acting out the way she does? I mean, she does continue to smirk for the cameras. She makes eyes at people behind her. So it kind of does seem like she does love all of this.
She's got cameras on her. It's an unusual situation. Imagine having a camera on you 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day, and then the media captures little bits and pieces and says, oh, here's a smirk. Well, we've captured tears too. It's the emotion of facing the death penalty, which we're going to get into, is beyond anything that we could possibly contemplate unless you're walking in her shoes. I know we all won't. But it's the in love with trial again. You can take little pieces out, but it's not the whole picture.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from the defense. Guess what? Vinnie Politan is standing by with a smoking gun. Vinnie?
First, I can't believe the defense said that they think Jodi Arias is embarrassed about the sex. Really? Were they watching the same trial? Time to reveal tonight's smoking gun, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look. Yes, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. Jodi Arias thinks she's not getting the death penalty and not going away to prison for the rest of her life. She thinks she's getting out. Take a listen to her friend.
When I go to visit her, it's a lot of joking, it's a lot of laughing, it's a lot of good times.
She believes, and I kind of agree with her, but she believes that it's going to be a mistrial. All the jurors ain't going to agree. It's going to look bad on the prosecution, where they're going to have another trial. State of Arizona, it's 6 years. She thinks that she'll get manslaughter, 5 years parole.
Just another reason Jodi loves being on trial. She thinks she's going to be free, a free woman who will forever be linked to Travis Alexander as the last woman who ever had sex with him. Jodi?
All right. Well, that's a smoking gun, but I think the defense wants to put some water over the smoke. Do you not?
Yeah, you know, that's a Monopoly game piece. And this isn't a game. Like, this is a woman on trial for her life. The last time a woman got the death penalty in Arizona was in 1930. Her name was Eva Dugan. Very similar to Jodi. Guess what happened? She got hung. Something went wrong. Her head came off. This is the penalty that Jodi's facing. It's different. They don't hang anymore. You know, she gets injection. But that's the issue. She's in jail 23 hours a day. 2 hours, she's a glorified cage animal in a 12-by-7 cell with no contact to others. This isn't a game.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from prosecution. You've heard from the defense. Closing arguments on both sides are up next.
Jodi probably half right. Unabomber didn't get the death penalty, or Loeffner didn't get the death penalty, and today it's announced that possibly the Boston Marathon bomber won't face the death penalty, so she's probably not going to get the death penalty.
If Jodi is found guilty of a lesser offense like manslaughter or murder too, she's gonna cash out on this. She's gonna make guest appearances. She's gonna write a book like Amanda Knox just picked up $4 million. And what's the title of this book gonna be? How do you get even with your lover? She's gonna become a cash cow.